Good afternoon, everybody. This is Alicia, Customer Engagement Executive for S4 HANA Cloud in South Africa. Thanks for your time and thanks for taking the opportunity to watch this video. We've got a series of different videos that SAP has released specifically to talk around S4 HANA Cloud and your digital transformation to cloud. In today's session, we will be discussing, first of all, a couple of topics. We'll be discussing why you made the decision to go S4 HANA Cloud in your digital transformation strategy, and then we will touch on SAP Best Practices Explorer, and lastly, we will touch on some of the upgrade cycles, quarterly cycles in S4 HANA Cloud. So without further ado, if you are watching this video, you have either chosen to go S4 HANA Cloud or you are looking to go S4 HANA Cloud. The buzzword globally today is called digital transformation. Digital transformation being most of our customers are on some on-premise ERP system, whether that be SAP, whether that be another on-premise ERP system, and customers are looking to digitize. We're looking to get rid of our infrastructure, we're looking to get rid of our maintenance contracts, and most importantly, we are looking to get rid of those timeless customizations that we've built throughout the years in our organizations. We've taken our on-premise ERP, we've customized to a point where our end user experience is no more a delightful experience. Digital transformation talks about rapid deployment. It talks about the mindset of the organization moving from an on-premise ERP, transforming their business into cloud. This digital transformation, SAP is also going through. SAP was an on-premise ERP business for almost 40 years. Over the last 5 years, SAP have also embarked on their own digital transformation strategy to the cloud. Our primary strategy in SAP is cloud. When you talk to SAP about cloud, we talk about S4 HANA Cloud being your finance, we talk about SAP Ariba being your procurement, we talk about Concur being your travel and expense, we talk about Analytics Cloud being your reporting. For all intents and purposes for today, we will be focusing on S4 HANA Cloud. Some of the bullet points within your digital transformation journey, or if you are looking to embark on your digital transformation journey. The cloud, as you know, is a cloud. It's already pre-built. So if we put this into let's look at our real life examples. You buy an iPhone, you switch your iPhone on. There are standard applications on your iPhone. Those can be your messages, those can be your calls, those can be your settings. Your iPhone comes with pre-configured setting, much the same as the cloud. So the speed to deployment on cloud is far quicker because it's a pre-configured package. In your older days, on-premise ECC, we would have to design, we would have to blueprint, we would have to build. S4 HANA Cloud is pre-packaged. You configure your cloud, you configure with the scope that's in the cloud, and that is what we call fit to standard. You've got a standard cloud, and you need to fit your organization into this cloud. Right, let's move on. As you are aware, wherever you are in your journey, whether it's assessing SAP S4 HANA Cloud, whether it is already in project implementation of S4 HANA Cloud, you will understand that our methodology in overall cloud implementation works in a phased approach. The value for S4 HANA Cloud is your phased approach. You're pre-packaged. We don't have to sell you an on-premise ERP where you have to go and configure and blueprint and design. The cloud is pre-designed. It's pre-configured. So you're getting a head start already when you take S4 HANA Cloud. S4 HANA Cloud, as you will see via our other YouTube videos, has what's called the SAP Activate Roadmap and Methodology. So when we onboard you onto SAP Cloud, S4 HANA Cloud, you have to follow a consecutive stream of phases within the cloud to get you to production. So if we look at the SAP Activate Roadmap, and this application is easy, you just click on the application once you've signed with SAP and you've started your digital transformation strategy. There are different phases from prepare, where we start preparing the cloud for you, where you start getting your systems, where you start setting up your model company, where we start having workshops about what is the current scope that you have in your present ERP, and what is the scope that we can enable in S4 HANA Cloud. An understanding up front around S4 HANA Cloud is the fact that we cannot migrate all of your customizations on ECC that have made it such a difficult user experience today and re-engineer them into the cloud. Again, cloud is pre-packaged, pre-configured with a limited amount of extension that's possible within the cloud. So as we traverse through the different phases, prepare phase, we're preparing the project. All of this is equipped in your SAP Activate Roadmap Viewer. Our customers can comfortably, with their project teams and dedicated resources, go into SAP Activate Roadmap Viewer and sequentially start at prepare phase, execute on all the deliverables, have a quality gate with SAP, move on to the next stage, next, which is the explore, realize, prepare, and run phase. In your initial sales cycle with SAP, we do what's called a scope assessment. This is very important for organizations. It's an understanding of what scope needs to be enabled in S4 HANA Cloud. As you know, S4 HANA Cloud comes with various industries, from finance to professional services, to sales and distribution. All of our industries are on Google. You can happily find them. They're loaded there for any customer, and you can just click on S4 HANA Cloud Industries. But one of the most important aspects of during your sales cycle is completing what's called a scope assessment. What is the scope that we have in our current ERP today? And what is the scope that we need to be enabling for our business in cloud? So you'll see over here, this is just a snapshot of a very short version and an extract of a scope assessment that we can do. And this is really to say, this is the scope that's in S4 HANA Cloud. How does that suit our business? How do we adopt this specific cloud? If you're a professional services and finance company, you will only assess the professional services and finance scope. If you're only looking for finance, you will only assess the finance scope. Once the scope has agreed that will be enabled in S4 HANA Cloud, we start with a project implementation. Project implementation, most important priority, is called fit to standard. When you listen to SAP, when you work with SAP, when you work with S4 HANA Cloud, we always talk about fit to standard. You need to fit your business process into standard cloud. Standard cloud comes with SAP Best Practices. SAP will guide our customers in terms of what is the best practice to enable the scope that's available in cloud. Right, before we step into a demo, the demo will be focused on the SAP Best Practice Explorer, but it's important to show the slide where our customers are assessing the scope that's in S4 HANA Cloud and which scope they will be enabling within their specific industry. Right, let's step on to the next slide. SAP Best Practice Explorer. So while you've got SAP Activate is all about the phases that need to be activated sequentially, as you saw in my previous slides. From explore phase, exploring the system, to preparing the system, to configuring, to run. In parallel, SAP have a platform that's called the SAP Best Practices Explorer. What this does for you is it gives you very informative information around the scope that's in S/4HANA Cloud. The objective from an SAP perspective, being in all of these industries for the last 40 odd years, is to talk about this is the scope that's enabled in S/4HANA Cloud, and this is SAP recommendation on implementation and configuration. And that's why we call it the SAP Best Practice Explorer. You will be able to go and define the scope that you want to enable in S/4HANA Cloud, but you'll also have a portal that will be your guide, your cardinal, that will say, for this specific professional services scope item, this is the workflow that you should be implementing. This is the business case for that very specific scope. So the SAP Best Practice Explorer is your guide, telling you this is the best practice. This is ideally how it should be implemented. And specifically when it comes to cloud, we need to stick to best practice. So let's hop over into a short live demo of the SAP Best Practice Explorer. As you can see here, this is the opening page of the SAP Best Practice Explorer. Let's provisionally say you've defined your scope. We're only implementing finance. These are the scope, could be 60 scope items, could be 80 scope items. We've defined the scope that we are going to enable in S/4HANA Cloud for Finance. However, we want to take a deeper dive into every single one of those scope processes. As you open the page here to SAP Best Practices Explorer, you can click on a search button and you can put the scope name. So if we're looking for, by way of example, Advanced Resource Management has a reference number which is called the scope. We know for all intents and purposes for this demo that Advanced Resource Management is 1KC. That's the scope name. We can click on search. The system will bring back the best practices for that particular scope item 1KC, which is Advanced Resource Management. So you will see over here that the 1KC has brought up a page that says Advanced Resource Management. If we click on Advanced Resource Management, here are the SAP best practices and that cardinal guide that we are giving to our customers in terms of how you implement your scope. We understand what your scope is. Now let's get into the detail of we know the scope that we want. How do we deploy? So again, looking at Advanced Resource Management, which was 1KC, it will tell you all the information around this specific scope item. It'll give you the business benefits. It's easy click-throughs. It'll give you the business benefits of Advanced Resource Management. It'll provide you key process flows of relevance to all of our customers, and a lot of our customers ask this, is it will give you the country where this scope item is localized. We encourage our customers to be very diligent when it comes to this. Not all of our S/4HANA Cloud scope is localized in every single country. So we need to be cognizant and understand if I'm living in South Africa, for example, and I click on country relevance for 1KC Advanced Resource Management, I need to go and see if this particular scope is enabled for South Africa, and the answer is yes, so we can continue. Please be aware and always look out for that. The next item here is on the same page is process flows. So SAP gives you best practice process flows. If you can click on that process flow, It'll give you a wealth of information in terms of this is the best practice methodology in enabling your scope item of advanced resource management. We also provide more detailed process flows. We provide tutorials. We also provide test scripts. So that's an important part of cloud. You don't have to go and create your own test script. Cloud is pre-configured. If you use your Best Practice Explorer to say, this is my scope, I want to find out more about my scope, SAP, tell me what the best practice would be in terms of the process flow and the test script. Here you have it. So everything that you need is at the tip of your hands when it comes to activation of phases and best practices. If you continue, we just provide a host of information around those particular scope items. Very important to note, most of the scope that is enabled in S/4HANA Cloud is part of the cloud. So it's scope that is activated, that can be activated, that is not chargeable. However, there is scope in S/4HANA Cloud that is additional add-on. Please always make sure that when you are looking at scope and you've defined your scope, that when we look in the scope, you need to be able to define which scope has an additional charge. A lot of our customers are asking us this to say, we've enabled 88 scope items, but one of those scope items are additional charge. The Best Practice Explorer will show you that it requires an additional SAP Cloud license. There are a nominal amount of scope items that require additional licenses. Please, if you get a scope item that requires an additional license, you are more than welcome to engage the SAP sales team, your implementation partner. If you do have an extended SAP team, please engage with SAP and we'll help you through this journey. That's it. As you can see, the SAP Best Practices Explorer is a really easy platform to use in terms of looking at your scope, understanding your scope. If we look to the right over here, maybe you don't want your manager to go into this amount of detail, but what you can do is you can email the scope item, all the test flows, the links to the scope item, you can email them to your manager, to your team to say, hey, we need to enable advanced resource management. Here is the scope, here is the link, go and take a look in the Best Practice Explorer and look at the information in detail. That is one of the, you can tag some of your favorite scope items on the Best Practices Explorer. So there's a wealth of information. We encourage our customers to use the Best Practice Explorer in conjunction with the SAP Activate roadmap. That's it. That is all we have to show you on the SAP Best Practices Explorer. We trust that the session has been informative. If there are any further questions, we ask you to engage the SAP sales team or your implementation partner, and they will gladly support any questions that you have.